so much against us. Do you ever wonder?
If this fight is even worth it? Every day. But I'm still here.
But you're a princess. You don't have to risk your life doing this.
I feel like because I can fight, I have to, for those who cannot. And I think you might be the same way.
Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Cubs fan Han here to do yet another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. And let me give a quick shout out to my friends over at gaming-fans.com. Go ahead and check them out. They of course are also on Twitter at gamingfansdfn. And today I am going to be talking through a combination in this game that might be overlooked that has some pretty awesome synergy. And of course I am referring to Ezra Bridger and Princess Leia. And this dynamic duo has viability in so many different aspects of this game. Of course, they are going to be viable in the new arena under a Commander Luke lead, who is going to be giving them a 15% boost in offense. I would definitely recommend that you run them with Commander Luke if you did get your Commander Luke. Without him, they may not have as much viability in the arena. You can see in this video, I'm running them with Commander Luke Skywalker, as well as R2-D2 with the Zeta on Number Crunch. General Kenobi is in there. He is probably your best bet because of how tanky he is, and also because he has a mass assist, which really plays to Ezra and Leia's strengths, and I will get to that in a minute. They also will have viability in raids. I do think that you would have better options in raids to use if you're running them in Phase 4, which is probably the most likely plug-and-play place for Ezra and Leia. Most people are going to run either Ezra or Leia. Most aren't going to run them together. I've seen viability with Ezra in Phase 4 of the Heroic Tank with Wigs, R2-D2, Raid Han, and Ezra Bridger. And then, of course, you could also swap out Ezra for Leia. Most are going to need to have R2-D2 and Han in there to make that team work, but you could swap out Han for Leia and see how that works as well, and I do think you'd be able to get some of the same benefits from this team. So in this video, I want to show you some footage of Ezra and Leia, which you are seeing playing before you right now, but also talk through what makes this team or this duo rather, so powerful and how you can have fun using them, and then also talk through some of their strengths and their weaknesses and some mods so that you can have an idea if you want to use this team, how you should mod them for the arena so that you can dominate your arena shards. So what is it that makes this combination so powerful? The key is in Ezra's second special, Watch and Learn. Listen to this. Target ally attacks and then Ezra assists them, dealing 20% more damage. Both attackers gain a bonus effect based on the chosen ally's roll, and in this case, Leia is an attacker, which means she will gain 100% crit for this attack. In other words, Leia is going to be getting up to 3 additional hits with Ezra, and all of them are going to be critical hits, dealing 20% more damage. When you combine that with Ezra having a potential to hit twice, you have a potential for 5 attacks, all of which are going to be critical hits and dealing 20% more damage. That is really powerful, and it really kind of functions a lot like maybe the Biggs and Wedge double combination attack that they use, where Biggs is always calling Wedge and additional ally is called as well. But in this case, you're going to have that 20% more damage and guaranteed critical hit if you are choosing an attacker, which in this case you would be with Leia. Now, of course, Leia is going to be attacking with her basic hair trigger, which deals physical damage to target enemy with a 70% chance to attack a second time and a 55% chance to attack a third time. These are increased percentages. That is one reason why this combination, I would say, is more viable now after the A New Hope reworks, because Leia has a much higher chance of attacking 3 times. And then also, of course, when you combine that with the addition of Commander Luke, who's going to give them an offensive boost and who has tremendous viability himself, it turns into a really solid combo. Now, another reason why this combo can be really fun to use with General Kenobi is due to Kenobi's mass assist. When you are going to be doing his mass assist, you are going to be calling both Ezra and Leia to that attack, assuming they are buffed. So, when you normally run this attack with normal attackers, you are going to be getting up to 5 attacks. But when you combine the bonus attacks that both Ezra and Leia bring, you're going to have the potential for an additional attack from Ezra and 2 additional attacks from Leia, which is a total of 8 possible attacks on one turn with General Kenobi's mass assist. And with that increased chance from Leia and the increased offense from Luke, this is devastating for the other team if it lands right. Taking a look at mods. Now this is my Ezra Bridger's mods currently. Now note, I am not using Ezra or Leia in my arena right now. My Leia because she's only gear 10. My Ezra just because I have chosen not to use him at this point. Although I would kind of like to start playing with putting him in my arena team more once I get my Leia to gear 11. But the mods that I have on my Ezra currently, you're obviously going to want to have speed. Speed secondary is going to be a given, especially for any heavy hitting characters. You want them to hit as much as possible. You are also going to want to be careful to add some protection to both Ezra and Leia. You'll notice I do have a protection circle on Ezra. I would recommend also a protection cross. I only have an offense cross on Ezra at this point, but the reason for that is because that particular offense cross has 12 speed secondary on it, so it trumped another protection cross that I have. That's a balance you're going to need to figure out as you look at which mods you're going to put on these characters. But because Ezra and Leia are both going to be a bit squishy, you're going to want to compensate for that with as much protection as you can find, while not sacrificing too much speed. You are going to want to balance on that triangle if you're going to use critical chance or critical damage. I would recommend critical damage. In this case, I have critical chance on Ezra, mostly because my solid critical damage mods are going to be on my primary arena team, but critical chance is a close second, which is really going to help you lay more critical hits. Also, this particular critical chance triangle has 7 speed on it, so it is very worthwhile for me. So, you also definitely want to be looking for any kind of offense secondary that you can add to them. You'll notice I do have a little bit on my speed arrow. I do have plus 28 offense on my cross there. And then I also have offense on my protection circle. Offense is going to be very good. You might even consider putting an offense set on these characters. I would still give the edge to a speed set because you're going to want to go as much as possible, but an offense set would work as well. For Princess Leia, you are going to want to be modding her very similar to how you mod Ezra. Princess Leia is even squishier than Ezra, and it's probably her biggest downfall in the arena right now. But you will see that I have plus 23% protection on my circle, a 5-dot circle mod there, which doesn't have any speed on it. Now, this isn't my primary arena mods, so if she was in my arena team, I would definitely put a mod on there with at least plus 10 speed secondary on that protection circle. I also have a protection cross on her. That's very good to see, but no speed secondary in this case, but I do have that plus 41 offense on that cross, which is good. That's something that you want to look for as well. Critical damage is a must for Leia. She is going to hit very hard. I have seen her take my General Kenobi when I'm going against a Princess Leia from 20% protection left all the way down to barely alive when she gets those 3 bonus hits. So, definitely want to get her loaded up with critical damage so she can hit very hard. Obviously, a speed arrow is going to be a given on all these characters, and then speed secondary as much as you can find them. So, breaking down the strengths of running Ezra Bridger with Leia Organa. Number 1, and probably the most important, is going to be 3 letters, DPS. You are going to be hitting very hard with these 2 characters. When you use that second special with Ezra, you have an opportunity to do up to 5 attacks in 1 turn, all of which are going to be guaranteed critical hits. This is very good to have, and it can really cripple a team when these 2 are modded well and maxed out on gear. And then another strength of this team lies in when you use them with Commander Luke and General Kenobi, and that is counter chance. Ezra and Leia are both going to have a counter chance, but when they have a counter chance, it triggers their basic, so they're going to have that potential to counter 3 times or 2 times, 3 for Leia and 2 for Ezra. And you're going to have that counter chance right in Luke's leader ability for Rebels, because both of them are Rebels, and then of course General Kenobi can apply that retribution up to give you that guaranteed counter. So they're going to have a lot of opportunity to hit out of turn, and when they do hit out of turn, the damage can be devastating. Some notable weaknesses of this team are going to be, number 1, that they are inherently squishy. Ezra Bridger and especially Leia are going to be easy to kill. So if you are on defense, they might be the first targeted, especially Leia, as soon as that stealth goes. Now, the stealth that she does apply, especially with R2-D2 in the team, can make her difficult to attack and give the other team issues. But that said, once she is open, she tends to be a very quick kill, so she can be really easy to off. Another weakness of this team that is very notable is that if you are going against a Rex team, you are probably going to be beaten pretty easily when you use all of those critical hits, because it is going to just load the other team up with turn meter. Because remember, Rex gives his entire team turn meter whenever they take on a critical hit. So I would definitely recommend using this set in your arenas against those Commander Luke-led teams that are popping up in other team sets. If you're going to run them against Rex, you probably will be having issues with getting beaten pretty quickly, because the other team is going to be really compiling turn meter fast, especially if you get 5 hits on that second special with Ezra Bridger and Leia. That's going to be 5 critical hits that are all giving the team turn meter in 1 turn. So that's something to think about if you do decide to run this set. So what do you think about running Ezra Bridger with Princess Leia? Are you going to try it out? What are some other combinations that you would like to see them ran in? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you liked the video, please do like,